I hope you are doing well. I am Behrouz Bigham and welcome to the 10th session of the Lumion Graph Package. In this session, we are going to continue the process of the previous project together. Well, as you can see, we have made a few changes. If needed, we will make further modifications. Since the topics were previously explained, there was no need for re-recording the explanations. Look, we changed the placement of the trees. I want to switch to HDRI mode here. Let's add a light to our scene. Okay, see, we set everything here high-end so we can achieve good quality. We used this stone for this section. We also assigned the glow material to them. This arm material is also set up similarly. For the floor, I created the texture from the metal or standard section, and you can see that we just assigned it exactly like this. We didn't do anything complicated. We changed these and they became a single color. Let's review the technique. I reduced the percentage of that yellow fabric I assigned here. We said that if you reduce this percentage, it will use the remaining percentage for a different color. I can control the amount of creamy look from here now. This amount is good. Only the bump map is important. Be sure to use the bump map to create a grainy texture effect. We mentioned that for fabric texture, the bump map is paramount. Also, we made a very small change here. Look, for me to use the foliage effect, the leaves, it was decided, based on the design we chose, that these sections should have leaves at the top. If I apply this now, you see the effect applied to everything, so I will cancel it. But since we wanted to do this, it wasn't part of it. We don't cancel it. We'll do it. I'll tell you the reason why. Look, when we use the foliage option, if I increase its level, it starts from the ground level, from here, and goes all the way up, like this. But based on our current design, only the upper part, roughly to this extent, should have our leaves placed here. I don't want the lower parts to look like this. So the solution we can consider for this section is to detach it. Essentially, apply two materials, enable foliage for one, and use a very low intensity for the other. If I set this to invisible, yes, it didn't load. I'll hit undo to revert to its original state. I'll close this, and we will go and detach it in 3D Max in 1 second. Let me also explain the other sections. These are completely detached, and you can see how easily we were able to use 3D objects in this way for their material. It doesn't have any special settings, you just need to reduce its size. If you want it thick sideways, it will ruin the work. The trick is to make it as fine as possible. This is the height. That's it. If you want it to be slightly random, you can rotate it. For the edge cut, if you want some areas to be cut, smooth it out a bit. Now, I want this to happen. It will be more ideal. Well, we also separated this section. Maybe a separate UVW map was needed, but since we are using the existing one, it's not very important. We assigned the same wood to this section. We tried to use one type of wood as much as possible. This wood is so good that it works on everything. I don't know. Maybe I should increase its size a little. Yes, just this. If you want to rotate it, you know how. Give it a pinching effect right here. You could also rotate it this way, but I don't want to. I want it to be vertical. It looks prettier. Everything is great. Let's go and think again. For this section, we use the same. Now you'll ask where I found this and which one I used. See, it doesn't recognize it. What is the reason? I'll bring it to the model category, under nature. Select one and find it from here via find. This is it. We put the new model and fine detail, motion version here, and I think it's exactly the one we had ordered. Again, as I said, we apply the trick and make the final changes. We place this section the same way. I remember Ms. Nasseri helped here, and look how well she arranged these. And here, guys, we have an important section. We go into the metal section. We can definitely have this problem here. If you want your foliage here to become leafy and full. Now this one is sticking out. See, this is happening a lot here. So what should we do? We need to detach these parts. Oh guys, we also made a very important change here, which is to let me clear these. I'm setting it to real because we don't have any surrounding buildings. I thought we had surrounding buildings there. I had placed them, but the engineer lady said there's nothing on that side. It's mostly a desert-like, dry area where a very lush green area is planned to be built. So it is important that these options are strictly observed so that everything looks realistic. And before I delete this, let me tell you where we selected it from. In the overhead section, it has ready-made buildings. You can use these. Look, it has 59 buildings here for the surrounding buildings as well. It's excellent. I select one, select all, Ctrl+A, it picked up everything. Okay, for this section, now since I am using this texture, right now we don't have a problem from this perspective. It's great. What? But when I move up slightly, look, the ridiculous tiling ruins our work here. So what is the solution? Guys, in these situations, you must employ a technique, a trick, to eliminate this repetition effect. I'll set this to standard mode, and since there is no grass here, sir, to solve this tiling issue, I either have to unwrap this section, which I don't want to talk about in this session. Let's make it harder in the first exercise. So, the solution that came to my mind is to detach some parts of your landscape that are supposed to be in front of the camera, like this, in the 3D Studio Max environment. Let me open the model so you can see what I did. I came and manipulated these sections up and down a bit, like this. You will learn this too, no problem. This one and this one are one material. This is separate. This is separate. And this now minimizes the problem of repetition. I'm not saying it eliminates it because the best and most professional solution is to unwrap it. Manually create the UV map, take it to, say, Photoshop, build 100% archive texture here, throw in a hill here, put this here somewhere. You manually work on the whole thing randomly and then you apply it as a layered material. We will definitely use this option in the subsequent exercises so you can become familiar with the most professional method possible. Now guys, I'm going to perform my operation in 3ds Max. These topics were covered extensively in the Digital Product Production and Sales course, where we prepared lots of engaging educational content about unwrapping for you. Okay, I want to do this now. See, I need to detach this part. I did this, why didn't it load in the model? See, this one, no, it seems it wasn't done correctly. So I need this one. I'll isolate it. I select this. Detach. Select this too. Well, see, when you detach it, when it's highlighted and selected, these two are fine. So, these two are selected. Let everything revert. Let's pull it up. Why am I detaching this, guys? I think we even have to detach this one. Yes. All of these can have separate materials. I've already explained the reason. So we have to detach it again. I can even detach this one. Well, see, it becomes one piece. Now you can move this one too. This one as well. I exit the isolate mode. We select these two. Yes, this action allows us to manage it separately. So the foliage starts from here and not from the ground. Well, also this object, to ensure the foliage starts from here and not from the base, we must detach this too. That's it. And I'll change the material there. Yes, why? Because just detaching is not enough. The material must also be applied separately, so it can be differentiated there. Now it says these are full. Hit that button. The first option, and select a new material here. I must change the color. Let's mark this. And see, when it's on this option, we said it only clears the material of this section. Don't apply it. The scene material remains as you assigned it. You can use the eyedropper and revert the material. I am repeating this many times so you don't forget. This is it. Let me see if we have any other specific detaching. Only here. I also detach this here to assign the light material to it. We also placed a door here. See, I separated the door like this. I detached everything. This was supposed to be glass, this metal, and these glass too. Now we'll run into a problem here. If you clear the blackness behind it... No, we made a mistake. Well, I'll hide this. We must clear these black parts, and one layer is enough. This usually happens with glass. Pay attention, guys. See, it's showing a black color now. Give it a tiny shell. Very small. I won't give it a chamfer either. Why? Because I want to use the soft option inside Lumion. The same one we said you use for metals. Well, the technique I used here for this is as follows. What is it? We talked about this in the modeling course, but I'll do this again. I install a plane with 14 by 14 segments, slightly bigger. The computer way, edit poly, and we come to the editable poly section. You can use the inform option here. Well, we come to this section. Brush strength is the same option available in Lumion. Now with every click, it's like moving something. I'll increase it a little in the top section. The size of its polygons is also similar. Well, if you see nothing specific happening, it's due to the lack of segments. I'll turn this off. Give me a retopology. Okay, edit poly again. No selection needed. Now increase this a little. See, you can easily perform the sculpt operation on this now, meaning this pulling up and down of the poly. If you hold Alt, it does this. If you click normally, it goes up. I can increase the brush strength and build exactly what I want. You can build your background shape, the surrounding mountains, or the path you want to create, like this. So here, see, with this shape, I come and separate the path. I hold Alt, and it comes down. Now you can decrease the brush strength. So with these techniques, guys, you can advance your work. You see, they don't differ significantly. Now exactly these options were available in Lumion. In Max, this process is generally called sculpting. The most specialized software for this is ZBrush, dedicated sculpting software, and it can also be done with Blender. It can also be done with 3D Coat. Most software have it. It's just that in some of them, you can bring in specialized cuts. Here, it was only a standard cut. But in options like ZBrush, we talked a lot about ZBrush in the model production course, all the embossments. It's like giving it a wear and tear cut, and with a single brush, the whole area becomes worn. Let me open an example that I made so you can see that I changed its texture. Guys, do you see these? I did all these lines, details, and embossments inside ZBrush. Then I brought it into Lumion and used its soil material. It looks much more realistic. It's been reduced and okay. Without a doubt, the best course is the Digital Product Production and Sales course. Okay, so this is how it is. The relax option is to resolve these sharp edges. Now for example, I'll do it like this. Look at this. If we increase this, it creates sharpness there. You can do your work, then use relax to settle it down. You can even use fewer segments, guys. Then smooth it out with Turbo Smooth like this. See, our result is this now. Excellent. If I assign a hill, soil, or stone material to this now, it will easily and professionally settle into place. And here you can say, detach this part. Now you're asking how I detach it here? The easiest way is to give it a selection here. Mesh Cat. Well, it's exactly like foliage. It only has the selection part. I select this. I press it. It selects itself. See, it's no longer active. Very professional, only for selection. I can put this higher. It doesn't have the spray tool here. No, spend a little time. Select these more neatly. Excellent. Like this. Well, now that the work is done, this selection is made to generate another output. If you select the poly, the selection appears exactly. You can detach it now. You can give this a separate path like this, and bring it here. Give this a soil look, for example. Here you give it a jungle, completely separate the path. So I taught you the technique, and guys, everything can be done with this method. I'll delete it, and now we go back to our own shape, and you see that we've mostly done this here. I think it wouldn't have been bad if we had included that here too. Let me hit Ctrl Z, delete this, scale this a little. I don't think it will be useful. Wait a moment. Let me scale it. If its thickness is small, it will look black inside. That's it. Now control it with these so that it stays under the ground, for example. It becomes very difficult to place it there this way. It can be done. If I play around with an idea now, I can achieve a result. But I prefer to extract it from the object itself. Why does it do this? Well, I'm going to do this here using the exact same method. It's not mandatory to use my hand here. Put this here. Put this on the street. Now, we can also use soft selection. And soft selection is a great option for when I want to pull this section down or up. We say it breaks even if it has many segments, it still breaks. In these cases, you can use the Use Subdivision option. The more you increase this, see, there's a limit. This increases. Great. Now its sensitivity is lower. You can easily pull it down. See, it didn't break. They reduce my strength. Just this much. See, it's great. Now I can use the brush on this. Let me put grow on it to grow a little. Up to here almost. I'll select this manually. Yes, like this. Because I don't want it to be too neat. See? Only guys, before you detach it, let me edit it a bit. We go back to the same poly section. This part is now on original normal, meaning every shape I click on here goes up and down exactly along its axis. If I set it to Z, for example, it only goes up. But I think the original setting is good. I want to bring this part down, I'll say. Why is this breaking again? Because it has less thickness. Before doing this, I can give it a little shell. In the bottom section, reduce this. Increase this a little more. Why? Because I want it to increase from the bottom. And the sizes shouldn't get messed up. Like this. Excellent. Our work is finished. Well, let's go for... You can use revert for bringing it down, because there's nothing left to come down here. Everything is down. I press it. I'm ruining it. That's it. Now I just need to, because we want a path here, for example. The more we do these things, the more random our work becomes. So guys, you see that the options we are considering each have their own specific purpose. For example, you might not have used the spray option until now. But in such times, they make our work very easy. I'll detach it, and I press the space bar, and I set it up here. And let the gizmo come to the center, and its detaching is also changed. I think everything is ready to transfer to Lumion. Just let me clear these. Only preserve the topology. Pay attention to that part, so that the topology of the work is correct. Excellent. That's it. Now guys, it got a bit too much here. We can repair this section a little, like this. Up to here. I think the path here should be open, for example, not closed. Well, let's not give it a path. Don't show the path like that. Let it be. I don't want our object to get messy. That's it. I'll save it. Save as. Export selected. Of course, a normal save and save as. We made a detach. Model 50. Model 50 common fix. The best format to use in Lumion. I return. I press OK. Let's save the scene here once too. Only guys, if there's a specific material, save this too, because some materials are likely to get corrupted. We said the solution is, in 1 second, come here and select a metal cover. It doesn't matter which one. I press Save Material on all. All scene materials are saved. If it's better, we can fully recover it in a few seconds. And now, according to the same technique, I come back to Import. I select the base, and I hold Alt here, meaning everything stays. The new model replaces it. Model 50, where is it? Final Model 50. Well, you see that our scene has been updated, and well, let me move it up a little, like this. It turned out the way we wanted. Everything stayed in place, and the new changes were applied. Let's continue. Yes, I can increase the foliage option here. Make the size of the leaves a bit bigger. That's it. This is the technique for solving the problem in these sections. Only guys, these have gone too far in. Now it will be smaller. Our web size is smaller and the type is different. I'll click OK like this. I want to say I'll edit these sections. Guys, I'll delete these. I press it. Now this came. See, it's full here. There is no need. If you give it, I'll give it a very small size. No, don't let me. I'll delete these. This time I'll come to this section. To do this faster, I'll use these. I don't want fine detail because I want it to be very tiny. So I use mass. While I press OK, I select one of them. All of them selected. Smaller. No, not all of them. Undo. I can select one of these now and use the same method I taught you, because mass is not useful here. When you want to use the actual scale, it is very helpful at that time, because when you scale this, that number, for example, is useless for us. I can take a copy of this now. Well, after we finish the arrangement, it says, I don't want it to be so neat. I'll rotate them once. A random size once? A little smaller. Yes, that's it. Good. We're done with this section. Let's see what we did here. I think these are good. If we make a collection again, and it has a flaw, we'll edit it. Why did these come down? I think it takes a copy of them. Let's go with this for my file. It's good. We can only... But it didn't copy. I hold Alt, or random location, a random size. How fantastic these two options are. That fire we placed here. Let's see. I think these are related to something. No, it was fixed. Yes, we'll leave it. Let's edit the metal section together. Copy the wood material, paste it into this, in too much. And now this only happens in the upper region. See, this is what we wanted. It's superb. Let's see if the brush is beautiful. Well, we can change it. Play with these two options and reach the best results. Let's edit its place. I want to increase the one here now, but not with this intensity. Give it a little bit, like this. Wonderful. That's it. Yes. To do this work exactly like this, we must use a plugin in Max. Plugins like iGen, River, I don't know, some parts of, even Facade have this possibility. Where is the grass here? I think we tampered with these and they went down. Guys, pay attention to the select all option we use. From the top, see, for example, when I click this, if my hand touches this, it selects all objects. Maybe there's another tree among these objects. What should you do? Unfortunately, I can't find the isolate option here. If anyone finds it, please introduce it to me. Let me search once. It's not here. The isolation option is not here. I think we selected correctly. Let it place it. Now let's see. I'll use these for this section too. Bring one of these here. See, we had some here. It seems all of them went down, but I don't want them this big either. Let's delete these. It was all because of that option we used, and it randomized everything up and down. No problem. These are experiences, so we don't repeat them. Copy. And today we don't have a count either. And those who say we don't have a count, if anyone finds it, please tell me. Because now the problem is, why shouldn't I be able to enter a number? Like pressing 10. Now we can't use any of these options anymore, because if I press this, it selects the other one. If I press this, we can do this manually. Now it's possible to layer it later, for example, but for now, I went ahead with this method. It's done. Random rotation. Random size. I also set their layer to grass. Now it's time to use this option again. 1. See, it selected everything. Let me use the class on their layer again. This is also a mess. It's not useful. I'll make it very dirty. Let it be. Let it blend. Let me see if the fusion is dirty or not. It's good. This one is also good. I think it looks cool if it's all black. Let me check the fire section. It didn't go down. Ah, that one went down. I said we had pulled it down before. Why does this take it off my effect now? The fire here, guys, unlike a light, doesn't have an option to turn off automatically during the day. Everything is good. Less. Okay, where did these go down? What a mess we made. Guys, I don't know why this happened like this. I think that remodel situation caused this. So none of them should have such protrusions. You must pay attention to these in the final edits. Let's apply the material to this section as well. I think the same material we used for that previous section, the black material, copy and paste, is suitable. Guys, this isn't about laziness. The point is that when you want to use a uniform material, it shouldn't be different. Otherwise, this spot will be one color, that spot another, and somewhere else yet another. They must be uniform. So the correct method is to copy it. Exactly the same wood material we used for that section, we should apply here for the wood as well. It looks appropriate. Let's apply it. Did I apply it to this one yet? No, it hasn't been applied. The light material 1.4, 100%. We don't have ray lines or roughness. You maximize the MC option. This is the material for the light source itself. Look, everything is great. Let me check one more thing. Okay, let's move on to this section. The setup is pending. I might change the color of these trees too. Their color doesn't match this set, and I don't like it. Let me desaturate the material of this object a bit. The greenness is bothering me. Since we used a fine detail object from the asset library, we cannot directly change the material. We can use its built-in options. Yes, exactly this. 21, 21. Let me check the scale. Can I copy this? 21, 21. We selected all of them. You can select all of them and then increase or decrease the number. Yes, that's better now. It wasn't visible when it was uniform like that. Let me see if this side also looks good. I think that structure over there is okay. Good. With that same dust aging layer, this should be connected too. If you wanted it to be different, it would have been unlikely. No matter. I'll just pull this one a little bit this way. Guys, this is called scene composition. This is a very important step. After all the final edits are done, the design is finished, and the result is approved. They do exactly this in professional projects. What are these again? I had deleted them. Where were you? Okay, give the floor here a material too. Since it's not visible, we won't spend much time on it. Let's check the door material. We selected these separately. We can use the same material. I separated this so I could adjust the UVW separately. We can even make it a bit darker. We made a mistake right here. Look, it went inside, and I'll rotate it a little so it's all facing outwards so they don't poke out from here. Yes, this is the solution. Since this part is internal, it doesn't matter much because we are not rendering from this angle. See, it's completely inside. But since it's not crucial, I only applied it to this section, and almost everything is ready for the final render. Let me check again. I think we are done with the building itself. Let's move on to this, and why this color? Okay, for this section, I want to use its own library assets. I'll go to the soil section. It should be similar. If not, the seam lines will show and be visible. I think we should use this one, but with a different scale. See, it's randomized now. Now it's different here. I'll make it a bit denser. Increase this in the settings, and then we can use its own assets. Now you've solved the repetition issue. Let me close something. What fell? We don't have a ratio in the distance. Let's select this one too. Which one was it? Yes, this one. 920 and 4. I don't know why it casts shade. Property? It doesn't matter. I click OK. Let's apply it to this one too. Just don't increase it too much, so it doesn't break. The line boundary actually ruined this area. This is how it should look, and that was my point. See, the color clarity issue is now resolved. As much as you can adjust it this way and use different elements. Yes, exactly this. Let's apply it to this one too exactly, and make it a bit darker. These trees around the water, guys, subsurface scattering CSS materials are very suitable for this section. They are not very interesting though. Let me check the water. Those elements that appear on the surface can be resolved. In the painting section, I select it. The lower bounds option prevents it from being seen there. Okay, now I raise this here, and their issue is resolved. But don't leave it like this. No, a tighter brush and a much smaller size. Click like this a few times so this area gets a feathered state. Because the villa depends on the curved state, we can't just leave it, its usability seems to disappear. You see, it's exactly the same tool we used in Max. Okay, we can compensate for this section with an object. I don't want to. I can fill this area with an object. If it turned black, so be it. We can use these options. The size of the brush in this area allows for controllable energy. Guys, we can transfer these. I select this and transfer it to a new layer, Environment Grass. This is our first layer. I think we should add another layer. Let's add another layer here too, because we want to fill it up. After applying the materials, we must fill its layer. I select all of them. Again, using our same technique. Be sure to do this regarding random size. And especially, it shouldn't look like this. That's good. Now you can erase some of them. I drag this up to here, set it to 0. I'll clean these up. Okay, we finished one section like this. Let's choose a state for the section next to it. I say this was a mistake. Try to use many layers for the plants and objects you engineer, because in the animation stage, it got too crowded. Let's delete some. In the animation stage, you can use the visibility effect in a layered way. It turned out almost perfect. It became exactly what we wanted. Let me fill this part too. The problem we have now is that these sections should have been deleted, but they remain. Look, they messed up the job. I'll flatten them out this way. This area's good. That line. I'll trim this area too. Okay guys, we finished setting the final view of the work. Look, I changed these. These two are one material, and this one can now be separate. Let me apply this too. And now I'll capture a view, and we are done.